y'all. Cover a bunch of topics we want to cover tonight. Bunch of topics we want to cover. So we're gonna be talking about Elon Musk. We're gonna be talking about the Takeoff shooting. We're gonna be talking about the Newark shooting of the cops. We're gonna be talking about the midterms. We're gonna be talking about Elon Musk. We're gonna be covering quite a few issues and stuff tonight. So we just appreciate you guys coming up into the space. We about to get this thing started up in a second here. You guys go ahead, tweet out the space. Ray, what's going on, man?
Peace to everybody in the room. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, we hear you, right? I was missed the last space because it was Halloween. I was out with the babies, but I was wondering if y'all cover Kyrie Irving at all because I saw that he was just suspended by I believe it's the Nets or whoever he plays for. He was suspended without pay for that Amazon link that he posted.
And they just bitched him because yesterday he just donated $500,000 and now he done got suspended. But yeah, I'm trying to think. Damn, what was the last space about y'all? My mind has just been all over the place and whatnot. So I can't remember. I think we did cover Kyrie. I think we did. That's why I don't. Yeah, I think we did cover him, man. I have to check real quick, but I believe.
Yeah, we did.
Okay.
We did Kanye and Kyrie because we were talking about both of them.
Okay. Yeah, because we was talking about anti-Semitism and we was talking about anti-blackness and stuff like that. So yeah, we definitely covered it, bro. But like I said, they went ahead and they got it. They fixed him up real nice too. He went ahead and he donated that money as soon as he donated that money because he's been getting pressure from a bunch of other NBA players. You got Amari Stoudemire, you got Shaq calling him an idiot. Charles Barkley was screaming for him to be suspended and stuff like that. So a bunch of ex-NBA stars and NBA stars been going after his head as well too. So I was hoping that he wasn't going to fall off or whatever, but that pressure got him. He couldn't take that pressure. Black Native, what's going on, sister?
What's up, Newstoter? What's up, Ray? Peace to the room. Peace and reparations. Now I heard Kyrie buckled under pressure. I just heard this. You said, and I also heard he gave money. Who did he give money to, and for what? Like, was it to the Jewish Museum or the Holocaust Museum? Is this where his money went?
It was supposed to be to some kind of anti-hate or something like that. I don't know if he donated to some kind of defamation league or what exactly, but he did. Him, the Nets, they both each donated $500,000.
Are you serious?
Anti-defamation league, they donated it to them.
So he gave $500,000 to the Anti-Defamation League for just putting a video on I think was it on his Twitter account?
Yes, he shared a link to what had been posted on Amazon. Now this was on Amazon, so why he getting punished for it doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense at all.
This is and when we say that they're anti-black, we need to say, look, stop anti-black hate. Because that's what it is. You're going to tell me that we can't even post what we want and what we watch, and that's considered anti-Semitic? Because I think I believe the video, if I'm not mistaken, was Hebrews to Negroes. Yeah, I believe by Ron Dalton. So I know exactly what it was. So that actually Jewish person helped him with that documentary, Quiet as Kept, you know what I'm saying? So I don't understand why do we continue to backtrack, and I understand it's probably the money, but come on, sometimes the money shouldn't mean everything, you know what I'm saying?
This is another way the small heads make money. That's what they do. The small heads use this anti-Semitism.
Black people should, if you stick by your guns, if you said it or you did it, stick by that. Stop cowering down. Stop backing out. And stand your ground. If you said it or you did it, and then whatever happens, let it fall. Let the chips fall where they may. But we're not doing that. We're bowing down. We're backing out. We're double talking. We're doing all this, bobbing and weaving. And then it makes, when another black person comes out, people are like, man, he ain't gonna do nothing but go ahead and, double talk and back out. And it makes us look weak. And I'm gonna land my plane on that.
Matter of fact, y'all, I just put in the actual jumbotron. Let me say what's up to my man Pop Dop on on YouTube. But I just put up in the jumbotron the actual poll that I just posted today. Did Kyrie Irving do the right thing by donating $500K? So if you guys want to go ahead, please go ahead and go ahead and do something on that poll. Put yes or no or whatever. Go ahead and submit something to the poll, how you feel or whatever. So I went ahead and I went ahead and put that on there. Shepard, I'm gonna let you go ahead real quick, and then we're gonna start jumping into the topics. But we can also talk about this is gonna also be a topic tonight too, since we got breaking news that your boy just got suspended. That's why before he even got suspended, I went ahead and posed that question to the people in Twitter and stuff like that. So since he did get suspended, you know, that's also going to be another topic tonight. So everybody, we're going to cover the takeoff. We're going to cover the rally for reparations. We're going to cover midterms. We're going to cover Elon Musk. We're going to cover the shooting in Newark, the police officers. We're going to cover Nancy Pelosi husband getting roughed up. So whatever y'all want to add to it. And also remember, in the Newstoter space, you guys are more than free to go ahead and move around. If we go cover one topic, you always go back to the other topic. So we're gonna give y'all that free reign. So Shepard, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Man, it's a lot to unpack here. Yo, peace to the family though. Wow. You got a full news cycle, huh? Newstoter. That's why they call you Newstoter. You got the big suitcase, the toter.
we got to do it, man. We sometimes we just can't handle like one topic. Sometimes one topic just gets boring, man. We got to move around. We got to like Ali stick and move.
Got you. Yeah. That's a lot. Let's take Kyrie. Jeez. I don't know what Kyrie contracts say, right? I don't know what the penalties is for what they are accusing him of. I don't care about right or wrong. Contractually, I don't know what the numbers look like, what they could ding him on for this type of speech. You got the NBA did not bend the rules and change up a whole lot of shit like the NFL. The NBA is still real strict on what you can say, what you can't say, type shit like that. They didn't change up a whole lot, even with the players union. So he might be contractually fucked in a way by this stupid ass controversy. So that's one way to look at it. Like, he may not be bending because he wants to bend, and he just seemed like the type of brother who don't really want to bend. Because I watched that news conference 3 times. I never do that shit. I was like, damn, he ain't bending. Let me see if he wasn't bucking at all. So somebody done got in his ear, showed him some paperwork and say, look, this is what's going to cost you. This is what's going to happen. This is how they're going to pursue you. You might even be out the league. Like, this is the type of shit that they do. If our numbers is down from Jewish people that's not coming to Nets game, who are donating to the team, who are boosters of the team, if they boycott us, we got to get rid of you, and you're not going to see the best side of it. You're going to be under this clause, you're going to be fucked up out of it. So I'm thinking it's something like that, not that he wanted to bend. You know, shout out to him, though. It's just a fucked up time to be black and be speaking your mind in America right now. So that's one. Let's jump to Takeoff. I don't fuck with drill music. I don't fuck with music that has to do with black men killing black men. So off the rip, to me, and I'm just going to be real cold-hearted, you know, live by the sword, die by the sword. That brother's probably a good brother personally. He's got family that love him. You know, I wish him resting in peace. But when they were playing songs to eulogize him the day he died, I clicked on the songs, and in 3 bars, it was him saying he's going to shoot somebody with a Draco and cut their head off. So, like, Takeoff might be a nice guy, but Takeoff's lyrical persona of him as an artist, that's not a nice guy. That's not somebody in our community that has the best interests of our community in mind, musically, sonically. Personally, that dude might have been an angel, whatever, I don't know. That could have all been a persona, but, you know, I don't fuck with that. So I don't have no sympathy for Takeoff. I have sympathy for his family, you know, and the grieving process as a human being. But these rappers are literally the enemy of our children. And if I have to pick, I got to pick between Takeoff and a 10-year-old who could go either way. He can go in a STEM program, or he can get absorbed into Takeoff's world. I got to pick the 10-year-old, and I got to side with him, what's in his best interest. So Takeoff isn't. So Takeoff took off, and more rappers is going to take off, and that's the fate that you get. Live by the sword, die by the sword. Midterms, shit's a toss-up. TOSS up. Nobody don't know what's going to happen. On criminal justice, that's the shit I really care about. The way they're locking us up, the way they're putting lead in the water and fluoride and shit in towns and Jackson and the shit they're doing to poison us. I want whoever's in office that's going to help us, get out of some of these jams that we in with these states trying to kill us off. Especially Alabama and fucking Louisiana and South Carolina. These states don't have our best interests in mind. I want whoever to win who's more closer morally to helping us get out of this fucking jam. Elon Musk, give me that $8 deal. I got videos that are stuck on 7,000 views, and it's unnatural the way my shit get throttled. I got videos that can't break 10,000. I can't get out of this bubble on Twitter to get out to be seen. So I'll take the $8 deal. Fuck it, he bought the shit. He owned the shit. He do whatever he want to do with the shit. I don't give a fuck. He want me to pay $8. I pay $8. I just bought a fucking Starbucks. That shit was fucking $7. So get the fuck out of here. Millionaires with blue checks who they say the dumbest, stupidest shit, and they get 1,000 views on it. Fuck that. I'm more clever than them. I need the same type of views on my shit, so we could just be at least close to equal. Try to grow your account. So right now, if you got under 5,000 followers, you fuck. You will never grow your shit the way old Twitter was. So new Twitter, if it's gonna give me a chance, I'm fucking with new Twitter. Newark, where the cops get shot every day, B, and they do a lot more killing than motherfucking they get shot. So I'm cold-hearted when it comes to police getting shot. Hope no brothers got shot, but brothers be in the blue and they be hiding a lot of shit from us too. So I pray for their families. Like I said with Takeoff, I feel like the cops and Takeoff is the same fucking question. I don't want to see nobody get killed, but if you ain't helping the black community and you ain't with us, then if you get shot, you just get shot, B. And the last one, Pelosi, I don't know if everybody really know this shit. She is second to the president in the United States. So if Biden and Kamala go down, Pelosi's the president. That's how the shit work in the law. Speaker of the House is the president. So she's second in line to the president, right? Kamala's first, Pelosi's second. So basically, you had a nut get within her fucking boundaries. Nobody seen the cameras. All the cameras, nobody was watching. They pulled the detail out of her house, and this nut don't even have a gun, ends up getting in her house. If this nigga had a gun, Paul been dead, everybody be dead. If she was dead, she would have been dead too. And that's the motherfucking second in line to the president. So shit is a little out of hand, whether you fuck with Pelosi or not. Like, that's literally close as fuck to the second in line to the president getting murdered if he had a gun and she was there. So that's it. That's your 5 topics, right? Yep. All right.
Okay, well, that's how you go in. That's how you lead off. That's like a lead off home run in the World Series. So that's how you go ahead. I shout out to you, Shepard. You went in on pretty much every topic. You touched everything. So, hey, that's how we go ahead and we start the actual Twitter space. So everybody that's up in the space, y'all go ahead and tweet this space out. We're going to have us a nice conversation. We got the topics and stuff. It's going to be fully loaded tonight. Y'all go ahead and get it in. I'm interested to hear exactly what you guys got to say. Newstoter normally does 4 Twitter spaces a week. Been down to 2. You guys know that I'm handling some things in the back end. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to try to go ahead and have a great discussion tonight. As always, I appreciate all you guys coming out. Remember that Newstoter is the largest news curation platform, Black-owned platform today in America. So let's go ahead and get this thing in. Shepard did a nice little lead in. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to build off of that. Let me go ahead and I see my man DJ's up in the house. DJ's up in the house. I got my 2 co-hosts up in the house. So, I'm feeling good about that. We got Black Native, Secret Sister, Professor. We got the usuals up in this place as well, too. My man Quad is sitting down in the listener. He chilling and whatnot. We got Black Majority State up in the house. We got so many of you guys up in there. We got the judge up in. We got so many different people up in here. So I look forward to hearing everybody tonight. I know it's going to make a great discussion. So let's go ahead and get this thing rolling. Let me go ahead and kick it off to Secret Sister. Secret Sister, go ahead and unmute your mic, sister.
Hi, I haven't been here in a couple, but I just want to say hey to all my brothers and my sister. I love all of y'all. I'm going to just lead off with this. Everybody that I fuck with, I fuck with. Everybody that don't, please don't look my way. I'm done with you. Now let's start with Takeoff. Takeoff, what I don't like is I don't like that they have our brothers murdered like that. I think that's really it's disheartening to see that, because he might have kids, he has family, and I'm sorry, I have a brother that was murdered. I would not want to see that over and over and over again. I think that's really like, I don't care what he's done. I think that's not us as a people. We spiritual and we know better. The rally for reparations, I would say for everybody that can, please make it out there and support our brother Tariq, Rizza, Teslin, Jade. Go and support them, even if you feel like they don't support you. Okay, the midterms, fuck them. You know me, unplug. Elon Musk, actually, I'm liking him. He has reinstated Kanye West's Twitter. He's allowing us, he said we could say nigga, Jews, we could say whatever we want on there, probably. So that's that. Newark, if a police officer got shot, more than likely it was probably because he put his ass in the way to do that. I was a police officer. I was a cool one. Nobody wanted to kill me. So if you want to take on, it's either the blue wall or the black one. I was black first. So if he chose blue, sorry, that's what he did. Pelosi, her old ass need to die. I don't even know why she's still alive. But these white man politics, I choose not to even get into. I'd rather us make our own politics. We better at it anyway. Thank you, and I'm done.
All right, my sister, appreciate you. Let's go ahead and move it around the room a little bit. Real quick about the thing about Pelosi. Here's the thing that kind of was just old boy is going in there with the mindset, and I'm no Nancy Pelosi fan. I mean, I think most of y'all pretty much know that, but a man going in there with the mindset that you about to bust up a senior citizen's kneecaps and whatnot. Like I say, I'm no Nancy Pelosi. I'm no Nancy Pelosi follower or supporter, anything of that nature right there. But Shepard made a point. How in the hell Nancy Pelosi supposed to be guarded? Like you would think that she would have top of the line security and whatnot, because the Speaker of the House is third in line. The speaker, you got the president, the vice president, and you got the Speaker of the House. So you would think that her house would be guarded like Fort Knox, but it wasn't. So that, to me, that part there just made absolutely no sense. How this dude was able to come in there with a hammer and this and that. I know my man was about deranged or whatever. So, like I said, we covering all topics. Let's move it around the room. Let's go ahead and get back to you, Professor. Professor, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Yes, thank you, Newstoter, man. And once again, great space, as you always do, brother. You bring it to us, man, the way we need to be bought. And Ray, man, good to see you, DJ, Shepherd, Black Native, sister, you always bring the power. Black majority, good to see you, brother, up in here. Good to see everybody up in the space tonight, man. Peace, power, and reparation to all of us, man, because we're going to get this money here. Now, let's get to the topic, or the topics. I'm going to touch on the midterms, y'all, because that's important. I know in some of the spaces there's been some talk about not voting if we don't get offered some tangibles. I would say, y'all, I say let's go out there and still vote. We still need to go out there, make our presence known. These are the local elections. These are the people that we're voting on that make laws that's important to us, that affect us. So I would say let's still go to these polls. But let's be mindful of the fact that we need to be looking for people that are about closing the border, people that are going to talk about reparations and talk about police reform.
these are three main topics or three main issues for us as Black American freedmen. So I say still go to these polls and do not listen to folks that's saying just don't go. We need to go. In reference to Takeoff, I say rest in peace to him. I'm not sure what happened. I know I love the Migos music, y'all. I'm one that do listen to their music. Out of this new generation of hip hop, the Migos was probably the one group that I listen to. I don't listen too much out of this new generation because the music is just not there for me. I'm more or less going to listen to the old hip hop, you know, LL Cool J, Public Enemy, Kool Moe Dee. You know, I'm going to take it to the old school when it comes to hip hop. But much love and respect to Brother Takeoff, man. I hate he had to go that way. Praying for him, his family. It's just a sad situation, man, because it seems like we have lost so many of these brothers this way, in this kind of situation where they die by gunfire at the hands of somebody, of another black person that's done the killing. And I don't know the exact numbers, but it seems like it's been a lot going back to, I guess you could say, maybe the mid-1980s. It seems like we have lost a lot of these guys that way. And I just hate to keep seeing this going down in our community like this. And some of them that like one here in Alabama, Doe B, he had just signed a contract with T.I. Before he could even get started, man, he got shot, got killed right there in Montgomery, right down the road from me. So, and I noticed that has been the case with some of them. Some of them have had just signed contracts, and it's like as soon as they sign this contract, they end up dead. Now, y'all tell me if I'm wrong, but it seems like there's some kind of conspiracy in this, where somebody is setting these guys up when they sign these contracts. Pop, you're dead. And it's more money for you when you're dead. From my understanding, it seems to be more money made when these guys are dead. So it's like somebody wants them off, you know, as soon as they sign these contracts. But that's something that we'll have to talk about at a later day. I'm pretty sure Newstoter will have another space on that. Now, on Pelosi, I don't want anything bad to happen to anybody, but I will say, y'all, Pelosi is also in the Democratic Party, been in the Democratic Party for a long time, been a leader up there in the Senate for a long time. I'm sorry, not the Senate, the House of Representatives for a long time. She's been up there way too long. And she's also one of the ones that do not support reparations. Okay, she's not a supporter of reparations. So, see, this is the problem. 90% of Black Americans vote for Democrats. Pelosi is one of those headlining Democrats, and she don't get behind reparations, right along with that knucklehead Joe Biden that's up there. And these are the people that have served for the longest up there. So, as far as I'm concerned, Pelosi needs to be removed from her speaker position. Should have been removed a long time ago, because she's not doing what's best for the people anyway. And I really don't give too much care about what happened to her husband. I don't want nothing bad to happen, but I don't really give a shit. Because Pelosi, to me, comes off as a person that don't give a shit about Black America. So if you don't give a fuck about Black America, I can't too much give a fuck about you. And I'm going to land my plane there. Thank you, Newstoter, Ray, and DJ, man. Good to see all of y'all, man.
No problem, brother. As always, it's good to have you up in the space. Let me say to any of my speakers, anybody that's in the space too, if you guys have the actual link to the actual reparations, to the rally for reparations, if you could put that in the Jumbotron. I donated this morning, but I don't have that link. So if you guys have that link and your speaker, please go ahead and put it up there so we can go ahead and get some of our people. I know everybody can't make it. For those who can't make it, for those who can afford it. That's only if you can afford it. Go ahead and please try to donate something if you can. If you can't, we understand. But if you can donate something to it, shout out to all our people that's going to go out here to this to the rally for reparations. Shout out to everybody that can make it out there. Like I said, if you can't and you can donate a little something, we understand times are hard. We understand that totally. So if you can do something like that, you can donate, please. It'll be greatly appreciated. Let's go ahead and kick it around the room. And my girl, Black Native, she had a space. What was that, last night or the night before, Black Native? You had a great space talking about Takeoff, and it involved the hip hop and stuff like that. I was in there, and she allowed me to get on the microphone and speak for a little minute. I wish I could have stayed in there longer, but I had so many different things I had to take care of as well too. But she had a great space going on the other night. So shout out to that sister. She was in the space we had before talking about the very thing about Takeoff and the violence that we have in hip hop and just the amount of rappers since 1990 and stuff that's been just murdered and stuff like that. Just the epidemic that we have going on and stuff like that. So Black Native, if you could touch on that topic or anything else you'd like to, sister, it'd be greatly appreciated. So go ahead and unmute your mic.
Well, thank you, Newstoter. Yeah, you did. You came in my space. I was glad to see you, and just get your input on the space that I held. I said was the rap music cursed because of all the murders that we're seeing with our young hip hop artists. Takeoff was 28. P&B, was it P&B? He was in his 20s. Then you had Dolph, and then you had Pop Smoke, and it just goes on and on and on. And so it's a sad state of affairs. And I pray for him and his family. But like the brother said, you have power in your tongue. You can speak life or you can speak death. Which one do you want? Which one do you choose? With the rallies for reparations, I hope it turns out well. I know a lot of people are, it's a lot of shit going on these Twitter spaces. But as long as the word is out, I hope the news are out there to see this. I hope a large crowd shows up. I want the best for our people because I want us to get reparations. And, it's not, reparations is not a monopoly. We all have our parts to play in, our struggle to get reparations. So I'll touch on that. Elon Musk, okay, let's see what happens. He's lifting up restrictions. I wish they would have did that when they snatched my followers away. It kicked me off of Twitter permanently the past 4 years ago. So we'll see what happens. The First Amendment, they were trying to tell us what we can and can't say. Well, they're still doing it. But, hopefully, we won't be limited and we won't be shadow banned. So I'm going to say that. The Newark shooter, the Asian dude, I believe he's still running around with AK-47s. I don't think they caught the man.
No, they caught him. It's a black dude too. They caught him.
They showed an Asian man with 2 AKs that shot the 2 police officers. Now they're saying he's black.
I thought it's a black dude.
It's an Asian man.
Okay, because the picture I saw earlier that they posted up, it was a black dude. But go ahead, sister. I'm sorry.
Yeah, well, unless they're trying to blame that on black people again, if in a picture of an Asian man holding 2 AK-47s with glasses, and they're saying this is the man that went and shot these 2 police officers. I mean, hey, I don't condone violence, but you read what you someone at. So, hey, I just hope it wasn't with some brothers. I hope they survive the shooting, and but if somebody else, I don't give a damn about that. Nancy Pelosi's husband got hit in the head with a hammer. Where was security? I mean, she is the speaker of the house. I don't understand how they were able to get into her house. These people broke in, beat the husband upside the head with a hammer. Like the brother said, lucky it was just that, because if he had a gun, we'd be having a whole totally different conversation about funeral arrangements for her and her husband. So, hopefully he'll get a speedy recovery, but, I really don't give a fuck about them either. So, I ain't gonna lie. But that's it. I hope I touched on everything. Ain't too much to say about, Nancy and the police. I mean, I don't know. But, that's how I feel. I'll land on that. Thank you.
No problem, sister. But no, I got the actual because this is from New York Times, and it was saying that Just after noon, the authorities announced that they had apprehended the suspect Kendall Howard, 30, and charged him with 2 counts of attempted murder. So we know what the name Howard. You gotta be. You can't be Asian unless you like half of it or whatever. But I believe that I saw the picture earlier and stuff like that. It's a black dude. So and DJ, he's up there from Newark. So I'm gonna have him touch on this a little bit in a second as well too, because I want to actually he was saying some stuff when I talked to him earlier on the phone. So he can maybe fill us in on a little bit of what's going on. It's a lot of speculation as well at this point as well too. So we'll try to.
Post that. Let me find a picture of the Asian man they said shot these cops and was still on the run. Because they had an Asian man up there, Alan. I think his name was Alan Lee, if I'm not mistaken. Let me go find this, because now
Yeah, I know what picture she's talking about. It was on some guy's page named Don Salmon. He had posted that on his page, but that was incorrect information. What Newstoter just said is correct. I don't know where that guy got that picture from. It ain't no Asian dude involved in that.
Nah, that's what I said. It's not an Asian cat involved in that. Yeah, it was a black cat that did it. So, like I say, DJ, he's from up there. So, he was telling me some stuff too. So, I'm gonna get it around to him. I'm gonna get the original, and then I'm gonna get the DJ just so he can go ahead and kind of just from some of the stuff that he's heard. And like I say, this is like now we can't verify this 100%, but these are just things that he's hearing up there in that area. So just to be clear about that, like we can't 100% verify what he's hearing at this point, but this is just some stuff that we heard. But original, go ahead and unmute your mic, brother.
All right, Black Power and Reparations. Yeah, I want to say, I think Kyrie made a mistake by apologizing, and I think what needs to happen is I'm gonna share this with you. There are some of the black entertainers. They know who we are. They know our sojourn on this planet. When I used to attend this study group, the Long Beach study group on Atlantic and Long Beach, and when I attended that, what's this guy named Nate Dogg? Nate Dogg's brother would come to the the study session, and he would buy up all the like videotapes or VHS tapes and whatever pamphlets and things. Some of the people that would come through and lecture, he would get all that stuff, and he would take it back, and it would be him, Nate Dogg, Snoop, Warren G, and I can't think of some of the other ones. They know who we are, and so I'm kind of thinking that Kyrie, he may have a little bit more information than we think he has. It's just like this friend of mine, she would tell me like Michael Jackson's mother. She would go to this SO1 bookstore in Los Angeles, and she'd buy like thousands of dollars worth of black scholars books discussing our history on this planet. And so a number of them, they know who we are too. But see, just like when Michael did that video, Remember the Time, see, I think that is why he did that. And that's when that's when the fake Jews got upset. See, a number of our people, they know who we are, but some of them, they don't have that backing. Like when they step out there, they don't have that backing. And some of them don't have the connection to the community, whereby I think it's changing now, whereby they could stand up and say what they need to say and go on about their business. Now, also within that, it was back during the 90s when a lot of these little young rappers, they were coming out, and some of them, y'all remember that song about what was it? I Got High, and I think these brothers was from Mississippi, and I think they was kind of forced to make that song or something, but it just was in their spirit. It did not settle well with them. They ended up quitting the music industry, and I think one of them came back to Mississippi, and I think one of them may have became like a preacher or something like that, So, but like I said, this is nothing but a shakedown. That book I referenced you the other night, The Holocaust Industry by Norman Finkelstein, and it says how they are exploiting Jewish suffering, and that is exactly what they do. Because see, they got him to give what $500,000, so they can come out here and try to browbeat someone and shake them down for some money. That's basically what it is. And so I think what we have to do as a people, like just like that book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews. I'm going through that book right now. And see, they use Jewish historical records within that book. But then when the book came out, they just wanted something else to try to attack Minister Farrakhan with. But it's their writings that's in the book. But they want to still say it's anti-Semitic, whatever the hell that is. So I think people just need to we all need to get deeper back into our studies, and so that when we encounter these people, we will be able to put up a good argument with the truth versus the lie that they want to disseminate. Because they know they did not build no pyramid. They know that. I mean, you have like anthropologists, archaeologists, and historians who are saying there is no historical record at the time that they say they was in Kemet, that they was there, and there was no Exodus. And so, I think we just have to prepare ourselves to begin to confront these lies that they want to disseminate and let them know, no, you're not getting away with this today. I'm not sorry, but here is the truth. You either accept it or you just keep looking stupid. Just like y'all know how some of those, you see some of these people who claim to be Jewish, they have this like lock hanging off their head. It's like a little curly lock. Well, that lock is traced back to Kemet. It's called the lock of Heru, where you would see young little children with that lock on, may have a shaved head and have that lock on the side of their head. Ain't nothing they got that's there, nothing. And so I think if Kyrie really want to show them out for the liars that they are, if he has studied some of our scholars, he needs to come out and just start swinging with the truth. Bring his book and say, well, according to this book, because see what they're doing now, they're saying that the book and movie that he has referenced is like it's anti-Semitic, it's conspiracy theory. I mean, make them prove that it's conspiracy theory. That's what I want to see. Make them prove that, because when you throw it back at especially this media, and they wonder why, especially a lot of young people. Young people don't watch the news. But see, they keep trying to say that the internet is not real. No, what the CNN, the MSNBC, the Fox News, and the rest of them, they are the ones that have the fake news. All of them, because people are seeing what's going on in real time, and they don't want to discuss it. They're being forced to address issues that they don't want to address, and that's the issue. And yeah, I'm going to make a donation to the Rally for Reparations as well. And I think y'all can't make it. I think it's important for us to kind of, pull together and try to make sure that what we are doing is a success and move it forward, because it's going to take all of us working together, because we're being attacked from outside. You got the black immigrants attacking us. You got the inherently racist white folks attacking us. Plus all the other immigrants. What's the sister's name? Denise Palmer or something. One of these, this damn Muslim had made some kind of comment, and I let her know. I said, look, she can't say this stuff in her homeland. They put her head on the chopping block, but they want to come over here. And these Arabs, I know some people who are into Islam, and as well as some people who are into this Moorish stuff. These people do not like us. They got issues. They ain't never liked us. So stop sitting up there trying to go along with something that, you haven't done a lot of study on. And as far as the midterm, my thing is this with the midterm. If I go and vote, because I don't believe in voting early, because you never know what may happen before the election they get here. If I go, there are some of the propositions on the ballot that I may vote for. But as far as voting for these people, because my issue is this, because I've been in conversation with people, I said, look, the Democrats are only offering benign neglect. And I see the Republicans, they just racist as hell. Now, I can't really see myself, although they're going to, allegedly do some stuff according for the border, but I can't see myself voting for inherently racist people, and I don't know what the hell they're going to try to pull off. I just can't see that, as a tactic for me. But I thought about it, and I looked at it, and I just said, I'm going to have to wait. I'm just going to have to wait on that one. But I just wanted y'all to know, this is nothing but another shakedown. You got these people who have stolen a history from us, from black folk, and want to claim it as their own, and then they get mad when they're confronted with it. And I'll land with that.
All right, brother. I appreciate that. And like I say, if anybody comes up to speak, anybody can find the actual link to the actual rally for reparations, please put it in the jumbotron. Before we get to that, I want to also we had a couple new speakers, so I'm going to let one of the new speakers come up and actually speak as well. And for any for anybody in the space that's not following Newstoter and the actual host, make sure you guys are following the host and the co-host in the actual space. So make sure you guys are following the host and the co-host. DJ, I'm gonna let you, because I want you to actually talk about this. I'm gonna get to you in a second. I want you to actually talk about this actual shooting up there in Newark and just what you're hearing out there on the streets and whatnot too. So I want you to actually share that with the actual room as well. Guys, make sure if you can support the actual rally for reparations. Go ahead. If you got $1 or $2 that you could throw there, go ahead and support the rally for reparations. It would be a great thing if you guys can actually make it there as well too. Go out there. If you're close to DC or you're not that far, if you can get there, you can get time off from work or whatever's possible. Go out there and support the actual rally for reparations. That would be a great thing to do. Also, if you can support us on Cash App, which is $Newstoter, $Newstoter, the largest curation of Black-owned news a day in America. I believe that's Victorious Ray. Victorious Ray, go ahead and unmute your mic. Victorious Ray, are you there? I'll give it 1 second. I don't know if it may be a delay in the actual Twitter space, but we'll check again. If not, then we're gonna move on, and then we'll move on to actual DJ. We had a couple people that was in the space had their hands up and kind of lost connection, so maybe we might be able to get them back. Victorious, if you're not there, then we'll just move on. Let's move on to DJ real quick. DJ, go ahead and just let everybody know what you're hearing up there about that actual Newark shooting.
If other folks, I see other folks like Ray Shepard got their hands up, and Professor, if y'all want to speak real quick, it's up to y'all. Let me know if we'll hold y'all peace real quick. Well, other than that, what's good? My black family, reparations up.
All right, we can then we can come back to I'll go to Ray because I know Ray's gonna be pretty quick. And then we'll go to Shepard, and also DJ. Thank you for the contribution on Cash App as well. So let's go to Ray, and then we'll go to Shepard.
What's up, everybody? So I'm gonna touch on a little bit of all the topics. First of all, with Takeoff, man, rest in peace to the brother. Because from what I've seen in the video, it looks like obviously I believe it was Quavo, and I'm not a big Migos fan, but if there's a song on the radio, I will listen to it. I'm not going to act like I'm some super fan, because I'm not. I'm like Professor. I'm more of a '90s type of person. I love to hear that old school '90s music. But to me, it seems like the guy that was doing the shooting kind of just started spraying randomly, and he got hit in the head. But me personally, I just hate this narrative that I've been seeing people rolling with, that this is just a black problem, and I just don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Because a rapper getting shot in Texas over a dice game, that has nothing to do with Black America. That's just it happened. It sucks. It happened, but they always try to paint us with a broad brush over something that something that's obviously tragic. Rally for reparations, hey, I'm all for it. I don't have the money right now to support like I would like to. Money looking funny and the credit won't get it. But hey, if there's any way I can live stream it, I'm gonna be the first one doing that. Elon Musk, hopefully he makes Twitter better. Like everyone said, the only time I'm gonna tell, but I mean, what can we really do? He owns it, so we really can't complain about something that he owns at this point. as far as Newark goes, I spoke to EJ on the back channel because EJ knows I have my father-in-law lives on Keir Street up there in North New Jersey, and I have my wife's aunt. She lives in Wayne, New Jersey, up on Burn Court. So I used to come to Newark. I ain't gonna say frequently. I've only been there a couple of times, but with this guy that's doing the shooting, I'm a big pro 2A advocate. I always say this, and they select places like New Jersey because they know a lot of people there aren't going to be armed because of the obvious gun laws. So the family that can, have a piece on them to protect themselves, I highly suggest you do that. And obviously, this situation with Nancy Pelosi, that's obviously very sad. Like everyone has said, I don't really give a fuck, but I hate it kind of happen because I don't want to see no senior citizen getting attacked. And one thing, before I land my mic, that Professor touched on about the police reform. I've never been big on police reform, but this is my reasoning because all police reform is you giving them money basically to have training to not be racist. If it's in them to be racist and to kill black people, it doesn't matter how much money you give them. They're going to keep doing what they're doing. So I've never been into that, but that's just my opinion. In land, pass the mic. You guys have a great night.
All right, Ray, appreciate that. I see Victorious. Ray, you came back, so let me go ahead and let you unmute your mic so you can go ahead and get your say in there.
Yeah, I'm gonna get my say in real quick. 2 seconds. Kyrie Irving is a basketball player, and he is a citizen of this country that has made millions of dollars for his organization to which he works for. And he has every right to express himself personally. So I am really on Kyrie Irving's side at this point because he tweeted out something, a documentary he saw on Amazon. Ain't nobody going after Bezos. Ain't nobody taking that documentary down from Amazon. But you want to make this grown ass man who has his own thoughts, who has his own ideas, but just happens to be a basketball player. He did not promote it. He did not say, "Hey, everybody, watch this." He was not an EP on it. He was executive producer. He just tweeted out something he saw, and now you're gonna make this man apologize for what? For what? Apologize for what? For something that's on Jeff Bezos' platform? But ain't nobody going after Jeff. So please understand that I have some political points of views that people don't agree with. And however, this is not political. This is a citizen. It's a citizen who saw a documentary and said that, hey, do y'all want to watch this documentary too? And now a $500,000 fine from the team and the player. They charge the team $500,000 and then charge Kyrie Irving another $500,000. For what? And to the Jewish community, if you really want to squash the whole thing that, well, Jewish people run everything and you can't really, ask a question about the Jewish community, or you really can't do anything about the Jewish community without being called anti-Semitic, then these are your examples. What makes you be such an exclusive community? Everybody gets questioned. Everybody has questions for every community, whether it's black, white, MAGA, whatever. But it seems as if nobody can even ask a freaking question about the Jewish community without it being called anti-Semitic. And you wonder why anti-Semitism is going up. It's because it seems to be such an insulated community. It's so insulated that Whoopi Goldberg got suspended for 2 weeks off The View for saying that it was just white people against white people. That was anti-Semitic. Anything you say about Jewish people is anti-Semitic. You can't ask a question. You can't even have an ignorant question. And I count myself ignorant. Ignorant is curable by knowledge. But you can't even have a question about the Jewish community because somebody puts you on a poster and says that you're anti-Semitic. And I just think that's nobody else, no other community gets that kind of pass. No other community gets that kind of pass. You can say every nigga, you can say all this stuff. As a matter of fact, when Elon Musk, with his sorry ass, took over Twitter, the word nigger, Nigger, came up 500%. Ain't nobody got nothing to say about that. Ain't no ass got taken down. Nobody, no major corporation spoke about it. They didn't say, well, we're not going to deal with this No. We can be shitted on day after day. Platform after platform. So no, I'm not with it. I'm not with not having a question for the Jewish community without being called anti-Semitic. I think that actually feeds into what people think about that community. They control everything. You can't say anything about them, which I don't think that should be the case. I think you should be able to ask questions. You should be able to have a real dialogue about it. But anytime anybody says anything about the Jewish community, everything gets shut down. Everything gets shut down. Which, to me, to some extent, plays into what people have been saying about them. Oh, you can't say anything. Otherwise, they'll shut you down. But why? For asking a question? For trying to understand? For trying to understand what is anti-Semitic, what is not anti-Semitic. What do you mean by your culture? You can't even ask a question. Nick Cannon got shut down. Now you kind of, I'm not going on a whole tangent about, there's some things that are just hateful and some things that are not. But I'm saying it is a real problem to me when you cannot even ask a question without being called a hater or anti-Semitic or that doesn't sit well with me. That doesn't sit well with me.
Real quick, Victorious, is there anything that you would like to add about the actual like Takeoff and the rally for reparations, midterms, Elon Musk or Newark or Nancy Pelosi before we move to another speaker?
Well, I think a little bit of what I said has to do with it. Nancy Pelosi, where do you think her last name came from? And all I would say about Takeoff is that I wish that we would do a better job with our music. That's all. That's all I have to say about Takeoff.
All right, I appreciate that. Thank you for coming up to speak. Let me go ahead and get to, I guess we're going to get back to Shepard because it's been a little minute. And anybody that wants to speak again, go ahead and just raise your hands. Any new speaker? I see Miss Great Ape up in the actual space. So shout out to you, Miss Great Ape. Shepard, go ahead and unmute your mic.
Got you. Nah, everybody been on point for real. Let's start from the top again. So Takeoff, right? Like the brother was saying, like, you know, that's not black culture, and that, you know, we really shouldn't be blamed for the type of situation that these rappers keep getting themselves into, and the poor choices that they're making shouldn't reflect on all of us in the black community. That's a fair point, you know. The only pushback on that, not saying that that's a wrong point, but the only pushback on that is that extortion has always been a part of black culture. Whether it was the numbers game, whether it was the dope game, whether it was the crack game, extortion has always been an element in, you know, even the moonshine game in the South. Like, there was people that was just a little bigger than you, and they pushed you around and took a percentage of your business. You know, there's always been an element of crime in the black community, just like the Jewish had a mafia, the Italians had a mafia, the Irish had a mafia. Them brothers in Texas call themselves mob ties. If you come to their city, they want a piece of whatever for protection, and that is a part of black culture. You know, extorting each other is a part of it. It's some gangster shit. You read them old books, Iceberg Slim, and all them type of books back in the day. You read any type of novel back in the day. Everybody, even in the Nation of Islam, they came up and was putting pressure on white folks. Even the militant black groups, they was putting pressure on drug dealers. You know what I mean? They was extorting drug dealers. My pops and his people, they was killing drug dealers. You know, I'm a Panther Cub. You didn't know. They was putting big pressure on the weaker drug dealers for a piece of that action, or just to get the fuck out of the community on some moral shit. So them coming out to Texas, and every rapper got to check in, that mob tie shit with Jay Prince Jr., that shit is a part of black culture all the way. And this is why I say that. Nobody white got to check in Texas. Only other black people. That's what puts it into our culture. If it was something that happened to everybody, nah, that's not our culture. But when we specifically target other black people, and this is a cultural norm, no snitching, you know what I'm saying? Don't talk to police about anything. Don't be seen with police. This becomes a part of that subculture. So you got hip hop, which is what the brothers was talking about, 90s, you know, 2000s, get into the gangsterism, you know. And then you got rap, which is what's happening right now. Illegible, you can't hardly know what they saying. You ain't really got to be a good MC. You just got to talk about drilling the next black man. So this part of rap is not a part of you and our culture, and nobody in this room really. You might hear a song and be like, oh, okay, that's got a catchy hook, whatever, you know, do a little two-step, whatever. But this is their culture, and it's a big part of black culture. That's why it's making so much money. That's why they got all these insurance policies on this rapper. This is on rappers, and that's why when you die, it's already a mechanism in place to replace you, to make you a hologram, Pac you out. Pac was like one of the first rappers to become a hologram and still be earning. This whole death culture that we have inside new rap is about who gives a fuck if you live or die, man. Just go ahead and, you know, they don't expect to live. This is a cultural thing inside of our kids. That's why we see so much violence, because they don't care about living. They're just desensitized by these video games, by the music, by the people they feel is motherfucking like they feel are winning, you know. You know, we play this kind of football mentality. They got the same shit. You on a winning team if you're getting bread. That's just how they feel. If you ain't got a bust down, if you don't got a iced out chain and a certain amount of carrots in your ear, and you ain't driving exactly this, and you ain't wearing exactly that on your feet, they not trying to hear you. So it's a coach, definitely culture. So with that being said, that Newark shit, Newark always been fucking grimy. Like, Newark is a grimy ass city, man. I've been to Newark a lot of times, man. That's where Redman is from, if I'm not mistaken. You know, Newark gonna do what Newark do. I mean, I ain't mad at no black person who decide he gotta defend himself, or he just had it up to here. I ain't mad at you. If you feel like you gotta take it there, and you had enough of the system, I think if more of us snapped, it would be a lot more things changing in the whole society if more of us snap. Like, Could you imagine 1,000 black men snapping all at the same day? And I don't mean hurting anybody, but I mean snapping in our own individual way. And 1,000 sisters just in one city, one municipality, one big black city. If we all just snapped and just said, fuck that, and all caught a misdemeanor charge the same day, like even if it wasn't that serious, everybody just did something and snapped on their ass. We would have the powers that y'all saying that the J community got. You know what I mean? So that shit the brother said is absolutely true. It's extortion, and it's the type of gangster extortion that's just so smooth and sleek, and it's just so you can't even defend against it. Could you imagine as black people if we had that? Like if you said anything about black people, you was immediately done, and we was in your pockets for $500,000. Could you imagine every single time somebody white or somebody of another culture or immigrant or somebody like that says something detrimental that we felt was harming our culture, whether you was a Christian or whatever you was, and we was able to get in somebody's pockets off of that? That shit is beautiful, man. That's like beautiful music. The shit that they do, man, take the feelings out of it. That shit is like a beautiful symphony. Say the wrong thing about them, the music start playing, and you the last one without a chick. And you always gonna be the last one without a chick. And the only thing I think we could do to defend against that type of shit, honestly, it's back to the 90s when we was literally, I was a teenager up in Crown Heights fighting the J people. So we was physically fighting them. Like we was getting it in. Like we was fighting. Like we fought them. Because we know the history of how they actually was treating us in our community. So that's the only thing that people fear. Like at this point, black power got to be about black power. Like all power to all the people. Like we got to be on one accord. Like we got to start snapping together. That like literally, fuck getting on our knees. Fuck asking them to say that we're men. Fuck marching. We got to start snapping the fuck out. Like our lives depend on it. So that's my take on that. We talked about Pelosi. I heard y'all talk about the rally, midterms. Everybody who spoke at the midterm, all the brothers was on point. I mean, for all the same reasons, I feel like the same fucking reason. Everything y'all said, I put one little my shit into it. I can't fuck with Republicans. I can't fuck with race soldiers. Though the Democrats have their shit, and they are fucked up, and they are hide their hand, and they'll wear a kente cloth, and they'll rock you to sleep. Everything y'all saying, ain't nobody disagreeing with y'all. I can't fuck with race soldiers though. And they may privately hate the fuck out of us, whatever. I can't fuck with openly race soldiers. When these motherfuckers, Tommy Tuberville, comes on national TV with a cheering crowd of thousands calling black people criminals for asking for reparations, I expect all reparationists to snap on him. And when that shit didn't happen on that day, the day after, when it didn't happen from everybody, and when people just did not stay on his neck and they just moved on like he didn't say nothing, that showed me a lot about the reparations movement. That showed me that, we pick and choose who we want to stay on and who we gonna let slide. So a lot of people make excuses for these race soldiers and these Republican race soldiers. I can't stand with you on that. I stand with you on everything else, but they got to get it too. That's all I'm saying.
Now, one quick thing, Shepard, because we had a space about Tommy Tuberville and we went in on him. So, we
No, it's not. But it's not national now. But it's not national now. Everybody is coming down on Herschel Walker's neck. I live in
Wait, real quick. I don't know who was speaking, Victorious or whoever. I'm gonna let you, because we got a couple of hands up, so I'm gonna let you get to it. But real quick, we held a space about Tommy Tuberville, and we went in on him. like we went in on Tommy Tuberville. Ray could tell you that. DJ could tell you that. Professor, we went in on him. Like we didn't pull no punches. I straight up told you that Tommy Tuberville was a redneck trailer trash who made all his money off of black men and stuff like that. The Joker made $25 million off of the sweat and injuries of black men down there. So we definitely right. Wait. Hold on, sister. Hold on, sister. hold on, sister, because you kind of cutting the host off. I can't. You kind of over talking the host and whatnot. We'll let you get to it, but just for argument's sake, I'm actually this is addressing Shepard. Like I get what Shepard is saying that he felt that the reparationists didn't, and there are plenty of reparationists on Twitter that did say stuff about Tommy Tuberville as well. Like, but I know in terms of just putting the content out, because put several articles out about Tommy Tuberville and held a space about him and uploaded it to YouTube and stuff like that. So we definitely, and I can go ahead and I can actually put that space in the Jumbotron here too. So all of us took turns using Tommy Tuberville as what he was, a punching bag. Tommy Tuberville, we know he went up there with all these rednecks to try to go ahead. What rednecks in the South have always did, try to go ahead and rev up their voting block to go out. It used to be a time they would go ahead and get them all ginned up and they go out there and they'd hang a nigga just for fun and whatnot. So we know exactly where Tommy Tuberville is coming from. We called Tommy Tuberville out. I feel like everybody, like especially the co-hosts and a lot of the speakers in this actual space are actual reparationists, and we all went in on Tommy Tuberville. So I'm just for argument's sake, just to clear that up, like we didn't give him no pass. I can find that actual space and I can put it right here in the Jumbotron.
I'm not disagreeing with you, though. I'm not disagreeing with you.
Victoria, still for a second.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, y'all. Everybody got to show some decorum. We all understand. Everybody want to get their talking.
Yeah, especially when especially when the host is going, like the host is just having a conversation. Like, don't like, because I when everybody's speaking, as the host, I sit back and I allow people to speak and stuff like that. So please, just for the sake of argument, let's not cut the host off while he's speaking and whatnot. Because I don't, unless somebody's just going on and on and on, I don't really cut people off. We don't hit the mic or whatever. So please, just show me that same respect that I show everybody else in the room. That. And Victoria, sister, we will go ahead and we will let you get your say in real quick. Shepard had it, but I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let you get your say in. But just for future reference, everybody, when the host is actually speaking, the host or the co-host or even another speaker is speaking, it doesn't even matter. It doesn't even have to be the host. If another speaker is speaking, go ahead and let that person speak, and then we will allow you to go ahead and to rebuttal or say anything that you want to. So, Victoria, sister, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let you speak. Unmute your mic.
I really don't want to overtalk anybody, and I'm sorry that I have done that. But when it comes to Tommy Tuberville and what has gone on in the South, they and my nephews are a part of it too. They're running backs. They are a part of Auburn. They're a part of Georgia State. They play football for these coaches. And for Tommy Tuberville, of all people, when 72% of the college players that play for you are black, for you to come out and say what you said, I just think there has to be some type of understanding that these people are still making millions of dollars off the backs of black men, especially in college football in the South. And so that may go a little bit above what we're speaking about as of this point. But you have to understand, I am very visceral about this because I know the amount of money. I know the amount of money that these schools, Auburn, Georgia State, I know the amount of money they pull in. Your coach is your manager, right? So your coach is getting paid $4.2 million per year. And all you're getting as an athlete is room and board. Tell me, somebody make that make sense to me. I don't agree with any of that. And then these people decided, when I say these people, I mean the GOP cult KKK party decided that, we're just going to throw up another athlete in the Georgia area. We're going to put up a Herschel Walker. We won with Tuberville, So let's just start with Herschel Walker. Let's just consider all people from the South as being ignorant, and the only people we subscribe to are football coaches or football players. That is insulting. It is insulting. And I will land it here. I will land this here. I believe, and this is going to go off to another little bit of a tangent. I believe that all college athletes, especially football players, should be paid at the collegiate level. There ain't no way my boss making $4.2 million and all I'm getting is room and board and a scholarship for whatever. So I'll land it there.
And just to get back to what I was saying, if you guys check the Jumbotron, let me give a shout out first to Miss Michelle. Thank you for your contribution on Cash App. But if you guys check the Jumbotron, on the far left, the very far left as you can go, the bubble is the actual Twitter space we had, and we were actually talking about not only Tommy Tuberville, but we were also talking about your girl Nori Martinez as well, and her anti-black racist rants too. And this was back on October 10th. So, like I say, we killed two birds with one stone in that Twitter space. So we definitely, the reparations movement, we definitely went in on the anti-black sentiment from the Latino community as well as the usual white suspects as well too. So just to go ahead and to let everybody know that as well. So yeah, we went in, and everybody in here was punching in on Tommy and Shepard. I can't remember if you might even been in this space as well.
That's what I was trying to tell you. I was here, bro.
Oh, okay.
I'm definitely not talking about y'all.
Oh, okay. I'm
definitely not talking about you. So look. I'm talking about the missed opportunity to pull up at this nigga's house, to pull up in his city, to boycott something at his game, to pull out a reparations sign at one of his rallies, to really press this nigga. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about no fucking spaces that may have 100 people and it may reach 500 people. I'm talking about in his home state. I mean, reparations has been a great opportunity from a marketing standpoint to get this nigga to make the same type of apologies that they making for saying things about the J people. He called black people criminals that just want our basic rights. This shit still is a great marketing opportunity, but motherfuckers did a space and did a couple of spaces and did maybe 1 or 2 YouTube and then got the fuck off of it. I wanted pressure. That's all I was saying.
And I agree with you. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kick it to Original and Professor and Ray. But I'm gonna say this, and we know, let's be for real, we know the difference between what the power that the black community has and the power that the J community has. For one, they control the banking system. They control the media. They control the news outlets. They control all the financial aspects of this world, basically, if not this country at the very least. So the things that they can do to punish you and whatnot, we don't have that ability to. Until we can get that ability where we can control the financing and things of that nature right there, then we're going to always have to be like at somebody else's mercy. They're like what, 3, 4, 5% of the population, if that. And yet you can't say a damn thing about them. And no matter what truth might be in it, you can't say a damn thing. Because like they say, they knew they was gonna hit Kyrie. They went in this Joker pocket and he didn't make an apology. But to me, if you kicking out, I'd rather apologize and kick out $500K. Just me personally. I'd rather say I'm sorry than go ahead, kick out $500K and still get suspended. So they already knew. But not only that, here's the power of persuasion, because you had Shaq come out. You had Charles Barkley come out. You had Amari Stoudemire come out. You had all these other black NBA players come out. All my man did was sit up here, and what he did was retweet a damn link, and all of that drew this kind of attention right here. All of that drew this kind of attention from retweeting a simple link. You had Hall of Famers. You had all-time greats. You had NBA All-Stars. You had legendary players coming out, and they went in on Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, let's not forget, last year set out most of the year because he refused to take a COVID test. Lost all kind of money. Even when the Nets brought him back, he still didn't take the COVID test. So somebody, like you were saying, Shepard, somebody went ahead and they did a little twisting of that arm. Somehow they got Kyrie to go ahead and write that check. That's what I'm talking about.
Contractual. I thinking it's contractual. I think they got clauses in there where a bad publicity clause, a clause on what you can say and what you can't.
He ain't say nothing. He just.
So it's definitely some clauses in there that he's under contractually, because he ain't the type of nigga that bend. Like, he stood his ground in the press conference. He stood his ground on every way he could. Then all of a sudden he bent. So I think somebody showed him something in the contract that said, listen, this is what we can do to you if you don't do something and retract this type of shit. So I don't think this was him wanting to do it.
Shepard, it was the owner. The owner been staying on him about it anyway. That's who did it. The owner went to him and said, hey, you had to do this or else you're going to be off this team. And that's what he told him.
And just to add on to that, Professor, was the contract that they showed Kyrie, the so-called clause, was that written within the last 72 hours versus the original clause that was written 10 years ago when they had the NBA, contracts done over for the players contracts or whatever. So was there a clause in that, particular contract then? You know what I'm saying? Or was that something that they just wrote up in the last 72 hours? You feel what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, if I was Kyrie, I'd go investigate that. You feel what I'm saying? Because that's how I was able to pull the wool over my ex-job. You know what I'm saying? Saying that the reason why they terminated me was because I didn't listen to the security guard. Hold up a minute. I got 30 years retail now. I don't got to listen to no damn security guard that ain't even hired by the company. You know what I'm saying? That's not in no handbook, nigga. You know what I'm saying? So at the end of the motherfucking day, show me the rules and regulations of where you say that is in the handbook. You know what I'm saying? Or that's part of the clause. But I agree with you 100%, Professor. It was the Brooklyn Nets owner that stayed on that shit. And did you see them J people that came, that was down there at the game when who they lost to? That was the Chicago Bulls they lost to the other night. And they all had stop anti-Semitism. A whole bunch of true white folks sitting in the front row with those shirts on. So it was really about, hey, Kyrie, let me teach you something. Hey, if you want to learn, I want to sit down. Why wasn't that on your T-shirt? Hey, look, let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yep, that's where it came from, y'all. When you saw them folks sitting down there in the front with the Stop Anti-Semitism shirts on, that did it right there. And because that owner said, look, if we keep having this kind of publicity, we're going to lose money. And that's where this came down from, right there.
And real quick, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to my girl Tony for her contribution on Cash App. I'm gonna get to you, Original and Professor, but I want to go ahead and get Miss Nichols. She just came in here, and I also, when I get a chance, I want to touch up that we got right now with Elon Musk taking over Twitter right now. You have some major companies and stuff. I think IPG, a major ad brokerage, is pretty much telling that big time companies like Coca-Cola and Johnson & Johnson and American Express to pause advertising on Twitter at this point until they can see exactly how Elon Musk is going to go about dealing with the public trust and safety issues and stuff of that nature right there too. So when we talk about, let's be for real, money talks, and people listen to the advertisers and stuff like that. Elon Musk didn't buy Twitter just as a hobby. He's buying Twitter to expand his empire. And he has right now, you got major corporations and stuff like that trying to see exactly how Twitter is going to go about, how they're going to go about enforcing certain things and this and that. So this is going to be very interesting in the next month or two and in the future to see how everything plays out in terms of the way they're going to actually enforce certain guidelines and community things and this and that nature. So it's going to be real interesting to see how this stuff really plays out down the future right now. But let me go ahead and kick it to Miss Nichols. Miss Nichols, go ahead and unmute your mic, sister.
Okay, thank you for having me on Newstoter, and peace to the room. I was hearing what you were saying about Kyrie, and with some of these teams, they have what's called a morality clause, and it's very broad, so it can encompass a lot. So that's probably where some of that pressure came from outside of those gentlemen sitting in the front row, because they can say, see, this is leading to this, now it's leading to this. Based on morality, you have to do these certain things, right? There is a limit there, and that's probably where they were able to unfortunately corral him. There has to be a way for us to get our voice out in a way that's peaceful but intense, right? I know I've just seen, unfortunately, our Black men just suffering these past couple of months with just the constant habitual beating of this drum. And I just want you guys to know that on the line, gentlemen, you're dealing with a lot of betas. You're not dealing with alpha, because the alpha male has enough respect for you to have that conversation with you, and he doesn't have to hold you down. But a beta does, to prove that he can lead. And I know, I'm not sure if any of you guys out there are following me, but I just really wanted to share that with the men in the room, and I'll land my plane there.
Thank you, sister. I'm following, and go ahead and follow this sister. She's also running for president in 2024. So definitely go ahead and follow this sister, support her. Go ahead and follow her on Twitter if you guys can. Please go ahead and follow the sister on Twitter. Let's go ahead and move around the room. Let's go ahead. Original, I know you had your hand up. So we're going to go original. We're going to go professor. We'll get back to you, Victorious. Ray, I know you had your hand up too. So, I'll get.
I just have comments about Elon Musk, just so you know.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Let's go ahead and get to that's why we got all these topics on here. Like I said, we got how many topics? About 5-6 topics on here. We got these topics on here because we want to go ahead and we want to have a nice discussion, a broad discussion tonight. So that's why we're talking about Takeoff, because hey, this just happened on Tuesday. We're talking about the rally for reparations, which is going to happen on the 5th. We talk about the midterms, which is happening next week. We talk about Elon Musk because he just went ahead and finalized getting actually.
I got a lot of heat for Elon Musk, so I will mute myself until we get to Elon Musk's topic.
Okay, we got Newark. The Newark shooting just happened the other day, and of course Nancy Pelosi. We got this crazy thing that just happened there. So we got a lot of different things going on, a lot of different topics we want to touch. So we just letting you guys, we going back and forth. Like I say, once we open it up about the topics, you can go back and forth, feel freely. The Kyrie thing, Kyrie wasn't even a topic tonight, but as the space started, the suspension was handed out and whatnot. I also put a poll about, did Kyrie do the right thing about donating that $500K? So just naturally, Kyrie actually, because we did have a space the other night about anti-Semitism and anti-blackness, so it just kind of just went into it. So Kyrie actually kind of got added into this space right here. He wasn't actually part of it, but since we had breaking news with him actually getting suspended because of this whole thing, he just kind of got added to the space. But Original, go ahead and unmute your mic. Hey, Original, is it possible because I know you're always kind of low, is it possible if you can crank the volume up just a little bit, brother?
Okay, what about right now? Can you hear that?
Yeah, that's a little bit better.
Okay. Yeah. I don't know if most of you remember, like it was several years ago, Whoopi Goldberg went on an N-word tirade on The View. And this all had to do with her saying that she has the right to free speech. I mean, this went on for about maybe, I'd say 2 to 3 minutes, where she just kept saying the word, and they was trying to bleep her out. A lot of it got through, and she wasn't suspended. No one said anything, but that is why I don't rock with Whoopi Goldberg. I mean, she's a nasty wench. I mean, just nasty, especially when it comes to black folks. Because a lot of people like her don't have respect for us. But as soon as whatever she said about the J people, she got suspended. Okay, she got suspended, and I'm like, ain't that something? So it showed her just how much power she don't have. And one thing I want to say too, as far as like this degenerate death music that these J folks are basically enticing or forcing our youth to become involved in. I remember years ago when I was in California, young brother, he was at Dr. Rosie Milligan. She has a bookstore and she's a book publisher. And it just hurt all of our hearts so bad. A young brother, he heard at the time Dr. Rosie was in her 50s, I think. And he heard her say how old she was. He said, I'm just hoping that I could just make it to be 25. And we were just like taken back at the, at how how they had just beat our children down to thinking that they would not live past 25. I mean, or just past their 20. I mean, this goes to show because see, look, no one else, no other group are allowing their youth to make degenerate music like this. No other group. And the devastating effect is that it has had on our youth. I mean, it's going to take us some time to get through this, you know? So they've induced this within them, and then they want to sit back like they haven't done anything or they don't do this. Just like when, what's this boy name? Hakeem Jeffrey. He said something about, he posted it on and he said something about anti-Semitism. And I said, well, what about anti-blackness? And I cited some things. So then this J woman, she come trying to say, well, blacks and Jews, we're like the same. I'm like, we've been through the same thing. I said, no, we haven't. And when I posted a link about what's his name, Judah P. Benjamin, and there was another link from another Jewish website stating how they had been involved in the slave trade. Oh, she didn't respond to that. And I don't know if any of you are familiar with this brother. He transitioned several years ago. But his name is Dr. Tony Martin. And his book is called The Jewish Onslaught. Now, see, what happened is he had gotten a copy of the book, The Secret Relation Between Blacks and Jews. And he taught at Wellesley College. I think it's up in Massachusetts or somewhere like in that area, in the Northeast area somewhere. And so he had some of the J students in there. So what they did when he had that discussion, they're gonna go home and tell their parents about what he did in class. And so here they come trying to tell the school that you're gonna fire this man. He's anti whatever. But the school stood by Dr. Martin. They didn't fire him. Even some of the Anglo white student parents and faculty, they said no, he's not going anywhere. And he stayed at the school until he retired. But it was an issue. They want to come at other people trying to make them submit. But as I keep telling people, we have to begin to study them, because study them studying us. And we would be able to counter anything that they're doing. That's all we got to do is study them studying us. Because hell, if I'm not mistaken, I think some of them were involved in the Tuskegee experiment as well. So they have never been our friend. Never. And I'll land with that.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate it. I see we got Leon up in the space. So I want to go ahead and get a new speaker in before we get to some of the ones who've already spoke. Let me give a shout out to Miss Nichols. I see she's gone up out of the space now, but thank you, Miss Nichols, for your contribution on Cash App. It's appreciated. Let's go ahead and get to brother Leon. Leon, go ahead and unmute your mic, brother.
Thanks, Newstoter. Shout out to you, Ray. You always be having good spaces. Let's get to this. I'm gonna hit a couple different points. Because I'm gonna go about the topics that you have on top, your hashtags. Midterms. On Africa Diaspora, Brother Scott had leaked the recording of Schumer talking about. I guess they already know that Warnock's gonna lose in Georgia, because he was kind of like, I can't believe they're gonna vote for Walker. He was very upset about that. So, and he was like, PA, we should be all right with Fetterman, which I'm telling you right now, because I'm in Pennsylvania. Fetterman, he has a lead, but it's very slight. I still think Dr. Oz is going to probably take it in the end. That's just my point. And as far as Fetterman, I would not vote for a man who pulled out a gun on a black man when he was Mayor of Braddock, which is right outside of Pittsburgh. An unarmed black man, to be exact. So, yeah, that's not happening. I'm not voting for him. So I'm going to stop that conversation on the midterms. Now, the Kyrie Irving, I don't know if you talked about that or touched on it. What's going on with that brother? One, there's nothing he said that is remotely close to what Kanye said. We were just talking about a damn link that's in Amazon, because I didn't get a chance to start looking at the whole that movie, but I do intend to watch it. But that being said, he had to apologize, and I'm gonna say this because his handlers are making him apologize. I heard rumor that if he didn't apologize, the league was going to come strike down on him and suspend him and have to pay a fine. You are not going to find that unless you are in close proximity with people who are in the league. I heard from a hearsay person that knows somebody that works at with a team, and that's how I got the info. But you're not going to hear that out there. They threatened him. They threatened the brother. They was going to blackball him. So that's why he went. That's why he's going around now apologizing. To all the brothers out there that's in the sports that down him, like Shaq and Charles. How many of y'all remember back when COVID they had the semifinals, I think, or in the bubble, and then that brother in Milwaukee got shot, and the team for the Wolves said, you know what, we ain't playing tonight. So, and then everybody else in solidarity didn't play. They shut that shit down, leaving TNT with nothing to talk about. And then Kenny Smith, who was one of the anchors on there, said, you know what, I'm going to support my brothers. And he walked off the stage, leaving coon-ass Charles Barkley and coon-ass Shaquille O'Neal still on the stage. They did not follow Kenny Smith in solidarity and walk the fuck off the stage over an unarmed black man getting shot in outside of Milwaukee. So that goes to show you what time those two brothers are on. And the other brother, what the hell's that damn? Shannon Sharp. I have respect for that brother because there were times on his show during the George Floyd Ahmaud Arbery, he literally took time out of his time and talked about the pain and suffering what's going on with the black Americans in this country on his show. But what the hell he just did, I can't rock with that. That was a cool move too. So that being said, I know this is recorded space to my brothers and sisters out there who are in the sports profession. If you really going to have to think about the way things are going right now, you're going to have to really think about, is your money safe in coming out and taking a stand on the platform for the grassroots? If you can't do it, I advise you don't do it, especially if you think you know that your bread could be in jeopardy. So don't speak up or speak out if you know because we at a point you're gonna lose it. You may lose it. If you're willing to lose it and you on speaking out, then powers to you. Speak out. But if you know you can't do it, don't do it. Not land there.
Thank you, brother. Thank you, Leon. Glad to have you in the space tonight. Can't say I disagree with much of what you said. So, one thing about Shaq and definitely Charles Barkley, I don't care what goes on when it comes to Charles Barkley. No matter, anytime you have any kind of civil arrest dealing with black people, Charles Barkley is always going to take the opposite direction. And to a certain degree, Shaq as well too. But Barkley, he's definitely going to let it be known. So, Thank you, brother. Let me get to my sister Ree real quick. Then we'll get back to the other speakers who spoke. You haven't had a chance to speak yet, so Ree, I'm interested to hear what you got to say. Go ahead and unmute your mic.
Hey, Newstoter, Ray, DJ, Leon, Professor, Mr. Original, and Sister Victoria. Thank you for having me. And I think what I'm going to say is pretty much it's just going to be an echo chamber, I think, at this point. Kyrie Irving is an American citizen. He is an American descendant. And as an American citizen, I do not believe that his freedom of speech should be trampled on, by the NBA. I think that the way we go about actually supporting him is actually honing in on particular points of our rights, regardless of contracts. The things that I think the Ashkenazi Jewish community, and we have to be sure that we are actually pinpointing what we are talking about and not just saying Jewish or J. It is not a death sentence to say the word or the term Jewish, Jew. We are not using it in a derogatory manner. We're using it in a educational and informational, informal manner so that people can get a greater context. Matter of fact, that is one of the things that they seem to always want to bring up when any of our brothers who have a larger platform or influence over the populace, they always try to say, well, let's go to a Holocaust museum. Let's go to a rabbi synagogue somewhere and let me teach you something. Why is it that the Ashkenazi Jewish community, and Ashkenazi, it just means descendant of Europeans. That's what that means. You can go look it up. And they seem to only talk about teaching somebody something after we start actually talking about references, point of references of uncovering history, religion, our lineage, in the lens, in the scope of how America was founded, who were the players and the benefactors of chattel slavery here in America, who also were the players in government, as they still are. Nancy Pelosi's married last name is not her maiden name, but her maiden name, her father, and that bloodline, they were European and probably practicing Ashkenazi Jewish as well. And so I want to say that there is a red herring, and that they might have the aspect of money in contracts because they got into a position of producing, and then they sent manufacturing overseas, which was another way to do our community in. And that's another conversation for another day. But it's a red herring because they might have the contracts and the money. However, we have the influence, and that's worth its weight more than gold. And we have to understand that. The reason why they want to shut someone down like Kanye and Kyrie and, hopes that Shaq and Barkley, don't join in is because if all of them actually use their influence to start saying, hey, let's take a look at what's going on and what is actually being uncovered. Why isn't the discussions being had? You had Ernie Johnson, is that how you say his name, on the TNT show with Shaq and Barkley. He was asking Shaq and Barkley, why is it that we have so many ignorant people, and why, he said, I think, America has lost its way. I don't think America has lost its way. I think American freedmen have wakened up. We have now come to a point where we no longer are going to be allowing them to shovel shit on our plate and telling us it's fried chicken and watermelon. I think we're at a point where now they no longer can keep soft shoeing around the fact that the Ashkenazi Jewish community owned slaves. Not only that, after our forefathers who were in World War I brought them, helped to bring them back over by the order of the president after the Nazi Germany and war with the Nazis, that they also too committed crimes of hate that were covered up. If you go to Google, and I posted it down my timeline, Google has scrubbed hate crimes that were committed by Ashkenazi Jewish persons in that community, as well as Asians persons, in hate crimes against Black women and Black men. Even the case of Latasha Harlins, God rest her soul, does not come up when you Google hate crimes towards Black Americans. And I say this for a reason, because they do not want us to get to a point where we start to now collectively having the same language, the same points, the same understanding to say, no, you can no longer throw the term anti-Semitic around and you're not pointing out or even denying information by factual data, by documentation. You can't continuously bring on a rabbi every other day to say, come into a synagogue and let's have an open discussion. When we have an open discussion all the time, they're never available. And if you start to have an open discussion, they never want to bring any type of historian, American descendant historian, into the room to talk about the points that they seem to be saying is anti-Semitic. If you notice that, they'll say, oh, what he did was anti-Semitic. Well, in what way? They cannot tell you. They cannot tell you. The only thing they can do is say, oh, I own the contract, so what I'm going to do is take money from you. So in that regard, someone actually posted, boycotting the sponsors for the NBA. I think that, people get mad when we start talking about boycotts. Honestly, it's a centrifugal force. Boycotts, understanding legislations to get out and vote. Outside of the disagreements that Shepard had with a lot of people in our camp in regards to Marcel, I had a common ground at some point with Shepard. And what I can say I agree with is that he talked about, Tommy Tuberville, and not understanding that a lot of people don't have to be vocal on social media when you can do stuff on the ground, and that is something that I would implore and challenge everyone who's trying to put the challenge on the community to be more vocal. Make sure you develop a group. You tap all of us who are in this space and let us know when you're going to go down to Alabama and have your money ready, just in case them crackers try to put you in jail. And make sure that when you go down there to protest in front of this white man's house that you can't vote in Alabama, that you are ready to make sure that you put your money where your mouth is. Because I see a lot of people are not ready for that smoke. And a lot of us are not trained in weaponry. You're not trained in tactical training. But you want to go down to the south of Alabama where they're literally lynching people and strangling the Black community, and want to show up at somebody's house that you don't know nothing about. If you don't know nothing about Alabama, keep your happy ass where you live. Stay on Twitter if that's where your lane is, and then make your voice known that way. Stop demanding of others what you ain't willing to do yourself. And my aunt taught me that one. And then I'm going to say that, but I do agree that we do need to vocalize when we need to show up. Some things we just don't have to put all of our energy in, because a lot of us are actually busy doing other things. So those of you who want a more demanding verse of Tommy Tuberville, go after him. I implore you. I always sit back and watch it, and I'll join in if I can. But
those of you who have the armor and who have the force behind you with some other people, and y'all got the muscle, go on and go down to Alabama. Make sure you videotape, because I definitely watch it. But I ain't going. What else? What was the other Takeoff. Rest in peace to that young brother. From what I saw, and I can't stand TMZ, it sounds like the bodyguard also might have had a trigger happy finger, and he might have had a part in, even though he was trying to protect Quavo and Takeoff, that he might have been the one that actually in Takeoff's life. We won't know for sure until autopsy comes back. I do agree that there is that Jay Prince is possibly connected with a mafia family. However, again, when you see RICO laws flying, maybe we'll know the truth. At the end of the day, there is an investigation going on, and even regardless of however many YouTube videos we watch, TMZ, people screaming and hollering, we have a lot of work to do in regards to making sure that we do no harm. And I always said that we needed a mafia family, but I refuse to be a part of a mafia family who has a disregard for their own lives. And you heard it from Rella. So, our rest in peace Takeoff, and definitely praying for their family. And it is not a strike to hip hop. I think it got on someone that tried to say, hip hop killed Takeoff. Hip hop didn't do that. Hip hop didn't do that. You had people who participate in destructive behavior who did that. And that could be anybody in any community. You have a lot of people that practice destructive behavior. It's just now we have the, I think, lens to want to say, hey, we need to get to a point where we can count our wins more than we count our losses. And my uncle taught me that. So was that it, Newstoter? Did I touch on everything? Oh, and NBA is not a safe space. NBA, NFL, as much as I love sports, it is not a safe space for our brothers. We need to encourage them to get on with Ice Cube and the Big Three. If they are not going to end their contracts right away, I think at this point, those who want their freedom need to exercise their emancipation from the NBA and the women and men coming out of college. Because I did hear Miss Victoria saying that, she has some nephews in college. We need to encourage them to also do what Deion Sanders did and make sure that they are attending HBCUs. And people get mad and say, well, HBCUs is being flooded by immigrants and all this other stuff. Well, that's because our kids are being encouraged to go elsewhere. And we can't have it both ways. If we want to reclaim our freedmen universities, we have to create a culture where we are pushing for them to go to the schools so they become the alumni and they can help write policies and legislations and demand, reciprocity from, our government. I think, is that everything? I think I touched everything.
I think.
Did you do okay?
You did great, sister. You didn't have to touch everything, but the topic was just up there. You could just freelance or whatever. But I appreciate it or whatever. And I will add to what you say. Like, let's not get it twisted. I know we're in 2022. Alabama is still no joke. You go down there, you better be careful. I'm in the South. I'm in Florida, and Florida's a different type of state. Even though we're in the South, and people look at Florida and they think just Miami and this and that. Florida is hit up in different little sections. You have your country region, your southern region, and then you got your immigrant region. You got your New York region and all that other kind of stuff like it. But make no mistake about it. Alabama is the deep South. Alabama is old Dixie. And if you're sitting down there talking about going down there and this and that, you just make sure you're careful and whatnot. If you want to go and protest or whatever, I have no issue with that or whatever. Just make sure that you're kind of deep and that you had a proper license with you. And I'll just leave it at that. So Alabama's not a walk in the park. So Alabama, Mississippi, some of these places, Louisiana, parts of Louisiana, you have to somewhat still be careful with these good old boys down here. And that's pretty much what I'm just gonna say on that topic. Victorious, I'm gonna go ahead and get to you, then I'm gonna get to Professor, then I'm gonna get to Original and Ray, and then we're gonna probably close the space out for the night. So Victorious, and everybody that's speaking now, let's go ahead and keep it to 2 minutes. Let's keep it to 2 minutes.
Well, I appreciate everything the young lady said about everything that's going on in the South and everything that is going on. And I'm gonna move my time to the next speaker because I have so many.
Well, go ahead. I'll go ahead and I'll let you go ahead. So go ahead and say your points.
My point is that just like the young lady that just spoke, born and raised in every rural part of the Georgia, Florida line, all of that. And I'm telling you, there are people who just don't think like other people. They don't think like you and I think. They don't think. They are just looking at their basic needs. And I just don't think that should be discounted. So I was listening a lot, and I'm going to pause right there and just move it on.
Okay, sister, I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get to Professor. I'm sorry, Original. Original, go ahead and unmute your mic. It's a Professor. I can't remember which one of you guys was next. Is it you, Professor, or is it Original?
It's me next, and then Original.
Okay, you go ahead, Professor.
I was about to say flip a coin for it. Who older? You know what I'm saying?
I'm just gonna say this, y'all. In reference to Kyrie Irving, the brother most definitely, and I'm just gonna go ahead and say, I had a morality clause there somewhere. That's where this is coming from. But I will say, what also has influenced this brother to step down from his original thoughts to fight this whole thing is going to be also his black brothers in the NBA and even outside, the ones that have retired from the NBA, didn't stand behind him. See, this is the problem, y'all, in our black community overall. When we have people out here in the forefront that's being bombarded by white supremacy, even if it's coming from the Jays, because they are part of white supremacy. See, that's what y'all got to understand. These are European Jews.
Can I say something behind that? I support Kyrie Irving 100%. He did not do anything wrong.
Damn, what the hell was that? Okay.
She's just agreeing with you, Professor.
Go ahead, Professor. Yeah, she's
okay. But anyway, these folks are European Jews, and let's keep it real. They are part of the white supremacy system too, and they're using the anti-Semitism for whatever reason to keep us down and from communicating with the rest of the world about issues that affects us when it comes to them, and also really when it comes to everything else that's going on in America. So this anti-Semitism is just being thrown out there. There was no reason for it to be thrown on Kyrie Irving for retweeting a link to Amazon, something that they have in their movie selection or documentary for you to watch. So you need to have that heat for Amazon. That's what I don't understand. This so-called J community didn't go after Amazon. They're not messing with them, but they seem to want to go after Kyrie Irving. And then on top of that, you got Black American players jumping on Kyrie. See, this is where the problem comes in. Our own community doesn't stick together. See, if we stick together, guess what? you can beat off the forces of the people that are trying to bring pressure. But when you got that community, the Jays, along with the white supremacists, because they hate our guts anyway, and then you got the black people also cussing at you and telling you that you're an idiot and that you need to just apologize or you need to be suspended. Your own damn people are coming after you. See, that's where you have to then be like, well, damn, I got to just kind of settle this thing down because my damn community ain't even with me. My community is not with me. So, unfortunately, I guess I just got to give in because I don't have any black people standing with me on this. See, and this is what we do to each other. This is what we got to stop, y'all. We got to stop the cooning in the community. Because the cooning within the community is taking us down when other people are attacking us. See? And that's why they attack us, because they know that this community, the black community, is not going to stand firm with each other. When all those other communities do. Now, y'all look at this. The Jews, the white supremacists, the Hispanics, the Asians might hate each other within their groups. But boy, when it comes down to getting into the code of protecting one another, they do it. And they do it without question. But damn it, you got Charles Barkley, Amari Stoudemire, and other goddamn black cooning people like Candace Parker or Candace Owens, who are out here hurting us. Clarence Thomas, Tim Scott, all these damn coons that's killing the community. See? That's where the problem is at, y'all. This is why we can't get nowhere. Sorry to go over my time, but I land my plane there. Thank you, Newstoter, DJ, Ray, man. Good night, fellas.
I know somebody's gonna mute me right
And
now.
lady,
But I
you
just
better say.
Oh, you was right on time, sis. Mute your mic, girl. Mute your mic. Nah, I'm just bugging with you, but yeah, we tried to
No.
the last 2 hours.
I know we're trying to.
Hold on. See.
Yeah, real quick. Hold on, real quick, because the space isn't gonna go on much longer. So we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna make this. We're gonna go ahead and give everybody 2 minutes to go ahead and unload their plane. So we're gonna give everybody 2 minutes, and the hands that's up right now, we're gonna go ahead and let that. The 4 hands that's up. That's it for the night. So we're gonna go ahead because I have some different things I have to go ahead and handle on the back end. So nobody go over 2 minutes. We're just going to go ahead and wrap the space up. So I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna go to original. Then we're gonna go to Reed. Then we'll get to you, Victorious, because you just went. So we're gonna go ahead and 2 minutes, and then we're gonna be wrapping it up. So 2 minutes each for each speaker. And please do not come off your mic while somebody's speaking. Do not come off your mic while anybody's speaking. Original, go ahead.
Before you go, original, we could have a continuation space because there's some things that I like to play for y'all to hear, and I know it's not enough time because Tyler got to do what we got to do. But you already know late night space on the Kite Production. Let's go.
Yeah, y'all make sure y'all come to the Kite Production DJ's WPI space after this Newstoter space right here because he's definitely gonna go in as well. So original, go ahead.
Yeah, what I want to say was in reference to what Sister Rella said, like when she said who had talked about going to Alabama and protesting. Well, let me share some information with you. One of my nieces, she went to this it's called Southern something. It was a 2-year school over there in Alabama, in Waverly, Alabama. It's near like, because I have people in Alabama. It's near like Roanoke and, I can't think. I think it's all around. I think it's in like Randolph County in Alabama. But anyway, so my niece, she had called me because her school did not provide her with like an office suite, like with Word and all of that. So I told her to download this LibreOffice and to get her work done. And she did, and everything was fine. But when she graduated, and we went to see her graduate, and we got over there, and I'll be damned, we didn't have any. There was no cell phone reception over there. Okay, so if you're talking about going to some of these southern states, I mean, when you get into in certain areas of some of these states, you do not have cell phone service. And the way these in some of those roads, it's just like a 2-lane road with an embankment on each side. So I think Sister Rella was right. Talking about going down and doing this and that. You're going to go protest at somebody's house, and you don't know where you're going. You better, if anyone planning on doing it, you better do some damn intel so you know where you're going and make sure that you're going to have some cell phone service that you can call for backup. You can call for backup because I mean it ain't like it is. I mean we live in these metropolitan areas. But you get up in some, even here in Georgia, you get in certain parts of Georgia, your cell phone reception is very sketchy. And I'll land with that. I just want to share that because Sister Rilla was right. You talk about going down there, you better do some intel. And I'll land.
All right.
Yeah, original blood. That's Roanoke, Alabama. Yep, it's near Randolph County, and that's Southern Union. I believe that's what you're talking about. Southern Union College.
All right.
That's what it was. Southern Union.
Let me go ahead and get the sister Riri. Go ahead and unmute your mic, sister.
Thank you, Newstoter. Again, I'll be quick. I'm all for whatever direction that we're getting ready to move in a centrifugal force to protect Kyrie Irving with the little at the minimal power they believe that we have, and we have infinite amount of power. I speak that all the time. Our influences the dollars that they do make, regardless of the employees that they hire. So I will say that we need to be encouraging our people to detract from the NFL and the NBA and allow them to figure it out. Again, encouraging them to move and get with the big three. If they can somehow get with their attorneys and start to talk about ways to now get out of their contracts or even invoking, their rights being violated under their contracts, we have to start taking a look at that because, again, I don't believe that the NBA is a safe space for Black American men or anyone who is a Christian in the lens of Hebrewism or wanting to find out, history or historical facts. You cannot talk about that in the lens with, I think, anti-Semitism actually being practiced. And if we really wanted to call it anti-Semitic, bigotry is being actually pushed on to Black Americans. And I land there and I'll say thank you so much for allowing me to come up and speak. And I'll land my plane.
All right. And like I said, y'all, after this is over with, y'all make sure y'all catch DJ Space because this is going to be the exact same topics. It's just part 2. So, Victorious, go ahead real quick, 2 minutes. And
yes, real quick. So the reason why Elon Musk, and I'm going to go back to Elon Musk, who basically owns Twitter right now, right? He named his children algorithms. He named his children engineering algorithms. And now he owns Twitter, right? The space that we're all speaking on. And the first tweet that he put out was disinformation about whatever. You can go see it, you can go watch it, or whatever. You have to understand that just because somebody is called a so-called genius does not make them smart. He paid $44 billion for Twitter. And now he's trying to charge CNN and all these media companies fees to be verified. And they're like, no, we're not doing it. We're not paying your fee. You bought it, so you own it. So sometimes I think we have to think about the platforms that we're on and the people who own it. Elon Musk is a fucking asshole, and he is no better. This man named his children an algorithm. and people think he is stable. Come on now. You have to think about what we're doing. So that's all I'm saying.
All right, sister, appreciate it. We're gonna get the host and the two co-hosts to go ahead. Ray, I know you want to say something. You got your hand up, and then DJ, and then we're gonna go ahead and everybody gonna migrate. Y'all make sure y'all migrate to DJ space as well too.
Yeah, I'm gonna come through for a little bit, man. Like I said, y'all know I be getting up super early for work, so we're gonna stop by DJ spot for a minute. So basically, all I just wanted to say is, I'm gonna be very careful with my words because obviously you never know who's listening. So that book, The Secret Relationship Between Blacks and Jews, if you actually go on Amazon right now and you look it up, that book is selling for $2,500. And I'm just saying, you don't do something like that unless you're really trying to hide something. That's going to be my first point. And someone also bought a Judah P. Benjamin. I believe it was a professor. So if I'm wrong, please forgive me. But if you guys need to research Judah P. Benjamin. For those of you that don't know, he was second in control of the Confederacy. A lot of people don't know that. This man was a lawyer. He enslaved 140 human beings. He had a plantation that was down in Alabama, I forget, it was one of those southern states. I think it was Louisiana, actually. He was a Secretary of War. If you actually, I don't know if people know this, but actual Confederate currency had, pictures of slaves on them. And if you actually look to the left of that, you're going to see Judah P. Benjamin. He's on the $2 bill for Confederate money. And after the Civil War was over, he took like multiple bales of cotton with him to finance, his life after the Civil War because he was living in exile. And he used those bales of cotton that was pigs to actually finance, and I'm gonna say allegedly, to help finance the Ku Klux Klan. So this dude was pretty awful. I'm gonna just say that. A lot of people don't know, which I used to be in Virginia a lot. There's actually a Hebrew Confederate cemetery there. They fought to keep black people enslaved. And they always talk about Minister Farrakhan. Like I said, I got a couple of points I want to hit on. They always say, he's a preacher of hate and things like that. But it's funny that they get to label people and call them whatever they want to, but you can't call them anything other than they want to be seen as. So that I find that point very interesting. I'm not gonna say my last 2 points. I'm gonna just land on that. I guess we can take it over to the next spot. But we need to keep in mind, people. I just say this. I say that there's a difference between being a Jew by blood and someone who was converted into Judaism, which is a religion, obviously. And if you really pay attention, there's an ISH on the end, and we all know that the word ISH or a suffix means something that's like. I'm not gonna say too much more. I'm gonna land up, and I'm gonna catch y'all on the next one.
All right, DJ, you want to go ahead and say something before I go ahead and close the space out?
Yeah, the rules we agree to agree. As far as the Newark situation, to piggyback off what Sister Black Native said, it's a strong possibility she could actually be right about it being another person, because at the end of the day, supposedly the police didn't even know who they were looking for. You know what I'm saying? Originally, you know what I mean? But that's another story. Obviously, we'll talk about over there. And when the police came up on the building, they supposedly walked right past the suspect. And when they came back, it was like, yo, we walked past this nigga basically shit. Dude pulled out that strap and let him have it. You know what I'm saying? On some real shit. You know what I mean? But bless up to them. He ain't kill him. You know what I'm saying? On that note, because if I think if he did, it would be a war right now going on out this motherfucker. You know what I mean? It would be the thug niggas, blood, crip, whoever, great street homies versus the cops right now. You know what I'm saying? Not because the homies would have did anything about it. It's just that the cops, they would have brought a war on the show, on some real shit. For no reason, all because of what somebody else did. You know what I mean? That probably ain't even down with one of the gangs around here and shit, or not one of the organizations that's not that's helping keeping the peace within the streets. That's how the cops do around here and shit. You know what I mean? And Roz Kumbaraka, he a part of this shit. So that insult to injury on that. While I keep calling the mayor a cone, and I don't care, Mary Baraka, that your brother, one of the most so-called got my fingers on quote unquote progressive mayors of all time. He can suck at MC because there's currently 200,000 people homeless on the streets of New Jersey. So back to this perp, he was supposedly living inside of the building as a squatter. You feel what I'm saying? As a squatter or somebody homeless. And the residents have called the police numerous times on the landlord, telling him to get this person up out of the hallway, living, sleeping, doing all this other shit. So whose fault is that? That's on you, Mayor, because you may not have anything so much to do with the controlling of housing as much, but you are in a position of authority. But you giving these illegal immigrants residency in a brick city, Essex County, as well as Coon Mayor Eric Adams. He just recently got amped up with some ties to China. You feel what I'm saying? That's why that police station is over there in New York City, the Chinese police station. Matter of fact, we did a space on that too, Shep, in case you missed it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I'm saying? Brooklyn in the building, you know what I'm saying? But I know you gotta go, bro. And there's a lot of shit I like to say. I'm still a little under the weather. That's why I'm about to play these videos for y'all. To get in the jumbotron, a lot of information, support Newstoter. We ain't logging off. We're just moving on to another space. So come on and follow on over there. And it's for those that I think it was you, Victoria or whatever, that say, hey, we need our own shit. Hey, shout out to the brother Black Majority with the big red B right here. You know, we got our own thing going on, but the problem is our folks don't want to support it. We still love to be over here where the white ISIS code at, and that's why we're going to continue to fail. And when Kyrie do speak out, niggas ain't there to even back him because he don't own nothing. But that's neither here or there. Next space, man.
Yeah, real talk. I'm gonna come to that space too. I got some stuff I gotta go ahead and tighten up on the back end, but I'm gonna also come to that space too in probably about 15, 20 minutes or so. So I'll definitely come through it as well and support for a little minute. But let me just say thank you to all you guys that came out tonight, all of the co-hosts, the speakers, and the listeners. Thank you for everybody who supported on Cash App. Thank you everybody who tweeted out the link. Thank you everybody who always supports the content, and it's so many of you guys in here that I appreciate it. I appreciate all the support and keep just supporting us. Remember that Newstoter is the largest Black-owned, Black American news curation platform today in America. You guys make sure you go ahead and create that account on social as well too. Black-owned social media platform. So we got to go ahead and start doing our own thing, man. We can't sit up here and just constantly just sit up here and start crying and complaining and whatnot. Talking about we don't have this, we don't have that. When we have access to do our own things, we don't want to do it. We want to stay here on the white people stuff. So we got to go ahead and get our own things running and whatnot. We can't sit up here talking about the J people and the media and this and that. When we have our own media, we have our own platforms. We don't want to support it. We don't want to let go of that white tea. So let's just be honest about things real quick. DJ, I know you got your hand up, but I got to go ahead. Like I say,
Yeah. I'm just gonna say top 2 tweets in the jumbotron on the left. Yeah, come on up.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna come to your space in a minute. I got to go ahead and handle something. So everybody, this is Thursday. We only did 2 spaces. Like I told you guys before, if you were in the other space, that I have a lot of issues that I'm handling, family issues and stuff like that. I'm a caretaker, so at this point and whatnot, I'm doing a lot of things on that end. So I won't be doing the spaces as often as I like, but I'm gonna go ahead and still try to do it at least a couple times a week. So I want to thank you guys for supporting as always. I appreciate the love and the support that you guys give to the platform. We're gonna constantly put that content out daily. Still gonna tweet out all the content. Still gonna tweet out all the content over there on social as well too. So thank you guys for supporting. When we can get back to the regular 4 nights a week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we will definitely do that. So I just hope that you guys can understand exactly what I'm going through and the issues that we're trying to do and whatnot with my family. So at this point, guys, I thank you once again. I'll probably be back around Monday or Tuesday, not exactly sure, but love all you guys, support all you guys, thank all you guys. And like I say, make sure you go to WPI, you go to DJ Space coming up. This is part 2. I'm gonna come in there when I get a second as well too, guys. So you guys take care, have a good night, and God bless you all.
Peace.
Hello? Hello? Oh, okay. Because I didn't see that she had called earlier. I was like I said, I was doing that podcast. I just saw it. Okay. All right.